Hey everybody, this is me, Ben Cornett, here on I Just Want to Say. This is episode 3, and let's get right to what I want to say. So, here we go. I just want to say Kawhi Leonard, Paul George Clipper experiment is officially a bust. Yeah, I think it is a bust. As you all know, Kawhi Leonard came to the Clippers in the 2019-2020 season. There was a lot of expectations, a big signing. He had just come off a championship with the Toronto Raptors. It's his second NBA title. Um, the Clippers, listen, they want to get a superstar there. I get it, you know. And a couple years later, they brought in Paul George, um, and this team. They were supposed to be one of the legit elite teams in the NBA, trying to catch an NBA championship. But it's it's just unfortunate, the injuries, the all this other stuff going on. Obviously, we had the pandemic as well, but Kawhi Leonard now out again in the playoffs. They say he's day to day, but I think it's pretty safe to say that he's probably not going to play again in this series. Um, it's the same knee he had, surgery on, uh, last year. He missed pretty much all of last year, and then this year he played like 50 games or something like that, and then once again gets injured. And then Paul George has an injury back in March. It's just for some reason it just never clicked. Injuries. It's you can't help them, but it's part of the game, and it's pretty much the main reason why this Clipper team isn't going to go anywhere. They're not going to win a title. Um, I'm calling it a bust because this is, I think, year 4 of this experiment with him and Paul George. Year 3 or year 4, but nothing's changed. It's still a team that just can't get over the hump. Now, they did make the Western Conference Finals in 2021, but Kawhi Leonard didn't even play in that game. He didn't play in that series. So, if you had these two healthy at the same time, then maybe they do win a championship or at least get to the finals. But I don't see this improving. I, it Kawhi's injuries. I think they're just one of those things where it's kind of like Grant Hill, Anthony Hardaway. Um, but at least uh, Kawhi won 2 championships and got to enjoy it while he was healthy. Whereas Grant Hill and Penny Hardaway just, they were just beginning to scratch the surface, but and then injuries, took that away from them. So for me, I feel like you can no longer depend on Kawhi. He's not that guy anymore. When he's on the court, he's great still, but the injuries just him and Paul George. I mean, I just I don't think we'll ever see these two win a championship together, at least with the Clippers, and it just continues to be the I'm not going to call it a curse, but it just seems to be like the Clipper way. I mean, that's pretty much the best way to describe it. It's typical Clippers, and it's too bad. It really is too bad. So, yeah. I just want to say Gervonta Davis, Brian Garcia fight was actually better than I thought. I enjoyed it. I watched it last night. As you know, Gervonta Davis uh, did a got a left hook to the rib cage of Ryan Garcia in the 7th round. Ryan Garcia, after I think like 5 seconds, took a knee, didn't get up in the count of 10, and Gervonta Davis won this fight. I think this is a better fight than I expected. Now, you're saying, well, it was a 7th round TKO, but to me, this was still a good fight. Great fighters, are going to get the knockouts, and Gervonta Davis has. Um, He got the knockout against Leo Santa Cruz, Mario Barrios, you know, guys like that. And this was the first, I felt like, first mainstream boxing match, that we needed. Boxing needed this. And hopefully they can get, you know, the Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford fight. I have my doubts, but hopefully they can get that done. We've been saying for years, boxing needs that big time fight. Um, you know, yeah, Manny and Floyd Mayweather eventually had that fight, but it felt like it was just 3 or 4 years too late. Um, even the Errol Spence Terrence Crawford fight, if it happens, I still think it feels maybe a year or two too late. You know, depending on how long they drag this out. Promotions, networks, money, politics, ego has really prevented us boxing fans from seeing these great fights. And finally, we got to see a clash of two of the best lightweights in that division, with Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia. Um, Ryan Garcia will be fine. He's going to, get more fights, and Gervonta Davis, he'll move up. He's pretty much cleaned out the lightweight division, and we'll see where it goes. But I'm glad we got to see this fight. Hopefully, we get to see more potential big fights. Because boxing really needs it right now, and I don't want to say it's a dying sport, but it's definitely a sport that's kind of declining. UFC's taken over right now. They've taken over the last decade, but they're kind of even declining. They're not getting as big of fights as they should. Now this is boxing's chance to finally get back up there and get some better fights for us boxing fans. So it's good to see. I just want to say HBO Max becoming just Max now. Yeah. So as you know, you heard the news. Starting May 23rd, HBO Max will officially just be Max. That's because Warner Brothers and Max deciding we don't need that HBO. Let's just combine it with HBO and Discovery Plus and call it Max. I mean, I get it. It's you gotta try and compete with Netflix and Hulu and Peacock, Paramount Plus, Disney Plus, etc. Amazon Prime, but it doesn't feel the same. I grew up on HBO. Okay, like to not being able to say HBO Max, I was thinking, oh, what's the big deal, Ben? Well, when you're an old school fan like me, HBO was those 3 letters were synonymous with my childhood and my early adult years, and now it's just going to be called Max. Yeah, you'll have some great, still have that great HBO programming. I'm still watching The Last of Us on there right now, finishing that up. But it just Max. I don't know, man. It's going to take some getting used to, but yeah, it's HBO's. It's not going away, just the name, but still, it feels like something's missing. It's just not going to be the same. But that's just my opinion. I just want to say my final thoughts. Well, this Thursday, the NFL draft's here. I cannot wait. I think it's going to be a very exciting draft, as they usually are. And for my Buccaneers, I hope, they make you hope they make the right pick, for their need. But for all the teams' needs, this is going to be an interesting draft. A lot of quarterbacks are going on there. They're going to be drafted. We'll see what happens there. And yeah, can't wait for the NFL draft. So that's starting Thursday, and we may see some trades there. We may not. Something usually always happens. So check it out this Thursday night, the NFL draft. All right, guys, that's it for this episode of Just Want to Say, and I will see you later. And I just want to say, see you later.